On a warm, bright morning in the French region of Alsace, a schoolboy named Franz is gripped by a very specific fear. He is late, and his teacher, Monsieur Hamel, is prepared to question the class on French participles, a subject Franz hasn't even begun to study. But as he runs, the peaceful sounds of the morning are abruptly interrupted by a heavy, rhythmic cadence. In the open fields behind the sawmill, Prussian soldiers are drilling. Franz is preoccupied with grammar, yet the Reims Hôtel de Ville stands as a reminder of the civic identity at stake. The Franco-Prussian War has ended, and these districts are about to be ceded to the victors. The administrative center of this world has shifted. The orders dictating what happens in these French schoolrooms are no longer written in Paris, but in the Prussian capital of Berlin. Taking a territory is a matter of geography, but maintaining that control requires something more. The final phase of conquest happens in the classroom, targeting the language and history taught to the next generation. Passing the town hall, Franz notices a crowd huddled around the bulletin board. For 2 years, this single spot has delivered every report of a lost battle or a forced draft. A blacksmith named Wachter looks up and calls out to the boy. He tells Franz not to hurry, remarking that he'll get to his school in plenty of time. Franz assumes he's being mocked for his tardiness. He has no way of knowing that the news on the board has just invalidated his entire curriculum. The town remains focused on the news of yesterday, missing the exact moment their future is being rewritten. This lack of awareness makes them helpless to stop the cultural shift already underway. Franz expects the usual morning din, the slamming of desks and the loud, rhythmic chanting of lessons that usually carries out to the street. He planned to use that noise to slip into his seat unseen. Instead, the school is as quiet as a Sunday morning. The stillness is unnerving, suggesting that the school's daily rhythm has been permanently broken. When he finally enters, red-faced and trembling, he expects the iron ruler. But Monsieur Hamel merely looks at him and asks him, with an unsettling softness, to take his place. The teacher is dressed in his fine Sunday clothes, the embroidered silk cap and frilled shirt he reserves for inspections and prize days. It is a level of formality that feels out of place for a Tuesday morning. Even more striking is the back of the room. The benches that are usually empty are occupied by the village elders, including the former mayor and the former postmaster, all sitting as quietly as the children. By filling these benches, the elders have turned the classroom into a site of communal mourning. Their presence signals that the school is no longer just a place for children, but the final stand for an entire community's way of life. Monsieur Hamel makes it official. An order has come from Berlin. From tomorrow, only German will be taught in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. This is their last French lesson. This is a textbook example of linguistic chauvinism. When an empire seizes a territory, it often attempts to replace the local language with its own, effectively cutting the population off from their native literature and history. Franz is devastated. The grammar books he once found heavy and irritating suddenly feel like irreplaceable possessions he is about to lose forever. The elders in the back are there out of a profound sense of regret. They are honoring a teacher who gave 40 years of service, while mourning the education they neglected when they had the chance. The community is finally feeling the weight of their culture, but only because they are watching it be taken away in real time. When his turn comes to recite, Franz fails immediately. He stands at his desk, unable to speak, overcome by the shame of his own past indifference. Hamel refuses to scold him. He places the blame on everyone, the parents who prioritized farm work over school, and even himself for sending students to water his garden instead of teaching them. He speaks one last time of the French language, calling it the clearest and most logical in the world. He pleads with them to never forget it. He explains that for a conquered people, their language is their most powerful tool of resistance. As long as they keep it, they possess the means to define themselves, even under the thumb of an occupier. The church clock strikes 12. In the same moment, the trumpets of the Prussian soldiers returning from drill are heard right under the window. Hamel stands up, his face drained of color. He tries to speak, but he is physically unable to get the words out. He turns to the blackboard, picks up a piece of chalk, and with every ounce of strength he has left, writes as large as he can, "Vive la France." He then signals for them to leave without saying another word. An army can occupy a city and silence its schools, but they cannot truly own a population that refuses to adopt their tongue. By maintaining their language, the people of Alsace ensure that their history remains their own.